so that brings us to the big question. Which airline pays you more? Hi, I'm back again, and as you must have guessed where I am, I'm sitting in my hotel room. I've already given you a hotel tour and my room tour, and today we are going to talk about the questions which you guys have sent me. So let's straight dive into it. So I've already made a Q&A for some of the questions you've sent me, and today's question is going to focus on comparisons between Emirates and Etihad. This question cannot be answered in a small sentence or a few sentences. That's why I thought it's more appropriate to make a video for you to get an overview of what you really will be getting into if you choose to join Etihad or Emirates. And to be very fair and honest, you cannot answer this question objectively. It is very subjective, it's very personal when a person decides to join an airline. Like, I've been working with Etihad for 7 years. I was working with Air India for almost 8 years. My sister, on the other hand, she was working with Jet Airways for 3 years, and then she moved on to Emirates, and she's been working there for almost 13-14 years. And she lives in Dubai, I live in Abu Dhabi. So yes, from our personal experiences and whatever knowledge I have, I'm gonna give you an unbiased opinion on what are these airlines all about and which one you should join and what you should be looking for when you join these airlines. So let's talk about it. First things first, you really need to be honest with yourself and introspect. You need to ask yourself the right questions. Why do you want to join an international airline? Is it because you have tried the domestic scene already and you now want to just up your game, or you want to travel a lot, or you want to make more money, or are you a fresher who straight want to go to an international airline? So you need to understand what are you looking for and the reasons why you're looking for what you're looking for. So I'm going to give you a few scenarios for freshers, for new joiners, for people with domestic experience, or people who have certain goals in terms of finances or in terms of travel or lifestyle. I'm just going to give you a few examples of all these scenarios. So first scenario, if you really want to be a flight attendant and you are obsessed and you just want to start flying, you just want to get out of your college, your high school, and want to start flying, you can do that. You could be 18 years of age and you can apply for domestic airlines in India and you can be a flight attendant. So you're going to have to give in a few years of flying, and then you can think of becoming an international cabin crew. Because in airlines like Etihad, Emirates, and Qatar, you need to be 21 years old. On the other hand, if you are aiming straight for an international airline, you have to be 21 years old, so you will have to wait. In that case, you can finish your graduation and then apply for these airlines. Me and my sister, we finished our university and then I applied for Air India, and my sister got through Jet Airways and she then moved on to Emirates. I worked with Air India for almost 8 years and then I chose to swap the airline and I came to Etihad, and I've been here for almost 7 years. My friends, my other colleagues, they started flying when they were 18 years of age and they were flying up until 21, 23, 25, and then they moved to international airline. So it's just up to you what you choose to do. And if your next question is going to be, you want my advice or what is the right way to do it, it's not because I am a graduate. I'm advising you guys to finish your university as well. I'm telling you that having a university base is very good for anybody and everybody. Just in case if you're not fit for flying, or if you change your mind, you could develop a medical condition, maybe in the first year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5, maybe 10 years later, and then you want to change your profession. So university is a good base to have to start up any course later on in your life and to build up from there if you want to change professions. That's just my tip for you. So let's get into the core of this question. I am in Etihad, my sister is in Emirates. I pretty much know what are the living conditions, what are the accommodations, what are the facilities, what is the work culture, what are the destinations, what is the network, and what are the other benefits of working for each airline. And I'm just going to give you my opinion on both of them. All right, starting with Etihad first. So when I said first that you need to ask yourself the right questions, I'll tell you the reasons why I said that. Because Etihad is based in Abu Dhabi and Emirates is based in Dubai. Both the cities are very different. Dubai is very flashy, blingy, big. There's a lot of hustle and bustle. It's a lot of things to do there, and it's good and bad for different reasons. On the other hand, Abu Dhabi is much quieter, calmer. There are things to do, there are entertainment, there are activities, but it's more balanced. Etihad has a smaller network in terms of destination, in terms of fleet, in terms of workforce. And Emirates, on the other hand, is a massive airline in terms of numbers such as workforce, fleet, destinations. So because of this distinction, I would say that it's easier to handle a few number of people as opposed to a huge number of people. And there is a lot of familiarity in Etihad. Again, in Emirates, it's a huge company, so you're gonna keep bumping into new faces every day. You might not know most of your colleagues. Again, there is nothing good or bad in this. I'm just trying to give you what these companies are all about. In terms of work culture, they both are super professional and they expect you to know what they teach you in the training to the T. They both have very high standards and you need to know the company's rules, regulations, and policies, all the products, the services, and all the standards. So that's equal for both the airlines. Another thing, I had a very quick growth in Etihad. Like, I've been here for 7 years and I'm already a cabin supervisor for 5 years over here. So out of the 7 years, I was 1 year as economy crew, 1 year as a premium crew, and it's been 5 years that I'm a cabin supervisor. Etihad recognizes people if they think you deserve it. So if they think you deserve the growth and the position, regardless of the number of years you've been in the company, they will give you that. On the other hand, Emirates could work differently. They mostly focus on seniority. Of course, you need to have a good file, but they will usually give you promotions as per the seniority. So that was about the work culture and the growth. Now, if you have to talk about both the cities, the comparisons in both the cities, Abu Dhabi is much quieter, calmer. There are, of course, a lot of amazing things to do here, like the Ferrari World, the Warner Brothers, Yas Water World. There is the Louvre Museum, there is the Sheikh Zayed Mosque. There are many things to do here, but in comparison to Dubai, it's a bit limited. It's a smaller city, it's much calmer, it's more residential. There are good restaurants, there are things to do, party places. But if you have to compare it to Dubai, Dubai has a lot of things and 10 times the size. Like, it's big on entertainment. Again, the good thing about Abu Dhabi is if you ever want to go and do that, it's just literally like 40 minutes away. So you just get in your car or a taxi and you go to Dubai and have your fun weekend and come back into the more calmer environment. So the flip side of this is, because of so many choices and all the temptations which Dubai has, you tend to spend more money. And in comparison, entertainment and doing all these things cost more in Dubai. So you're gonna save a lot of money if you're working with Etihad as compared to if you're working in Emirates. So let's say things like taxis, groceries, restaurant bills, many things which are more expensive in Dubai as compared to Abu Dhabi. So what works for me is that I live in Abu Dhabi, and if I want to just have a fun weekend, or if I want to go and stay with my sister for a couple of days, or even you could book like a small hotel for like a weekend and stuff, it's very affordable and doable that way than living in Dubai and constantly having that choices and temptations every single day and spending money you wouldn't even realize that you'll make a big hole in your pockets. Okay, there is another thing which I've heard, that if you work with Emirates, you get to fly a lot, you get to go to different places, different destinations, and so on and so forth, which is true because they have a huge network as compared to Etihad. Etihad has half the network of Emirates, I would say, but it doesn't really matter, guys, which airline you choose to, because there is something called as staff travel, and both the airlines have connections with all the airlines in the world. Like, if I open my staff travel, I can take any airline I wish to through my staff travel with reduced fares. So it doesn't really matter that you're working with Emirates or you're working with Etihad and you're gonna get more options to travel here and lesser options here. It's not true. Traveling when you're working is very limited things you can do. However, if you're going on your days off and your holidays, that's where you're gonna get to have a quality travel. And for those options, you're gonna have all the airlines at your disposal, from in US to Europe, even Emirates. So yes, even if I'm working as an Etihad employee, I can take Emirates for my staff travel. I can take any airline in Australia, in US, in UK, in New Zealand, in South America, Central America, anywhere in Europe, anywhere in Asia. It doesn't really matter. I can even take the small domestic airlines. That's how I was able to travel in Iceland. I took Iceland there and then the local airline there. Or I went to Machu Picchu, went to Lima, in Cusco, in Central America, South America. Anywhere, everywhere in Pacific. You could just put your finger on the world map and you decide to go there, and you will be able to go there regardless of the airline you're gonna work for, guys. So it doesn't really matter which airline you should work for if you choose to travel. That brings me to the next thing. What are the facilities? What are the discounts? What are the opportunities you get when you go to restaurants or shopping or entertainment places? How about the insurance? How about the accommodation? How about the hotels? Well, I would say they are all the same. The standards are pretty similar. Like all the hotels I stay in, I see Qatar, Emirates, and all the other airlines there. So hotels is the same thing. Accommodation, I would say again, it's pretty same standards. They give you amazing facilities. You'll have gym, you'll have pool, you'll have a great accommodation, you'll have very, very good living conditions. Insurance is again top notch in all the airlines, so you never have to worry about the insurance part. If you're talking about discounts and offers, yes, there are a lot of discounts and offers in Etihad, and we can apply some of the discounts and offers in Dubai as well. But in Dubai, since it has a lot of hotspots and a lot of entertainment places, they can avail more of those discounts. So I would say in that way, Dubai and Emirates has more advantage for going and exploring all those entertainment spots at a very good price, because of the accessibility and because of the city you're gonna live in. Next thing is time off. I would say time off depends on the position you are in. If you are working as an economy crew, or you're working as a business class crew, or if you're working as a supervisor or a manager, it's all different for different positions. But I would say I've been very lucky in Etihad that I've constantly got my leaves where I wanted it. I got my days off along with it. I got a lot of time off in between my flights where I could do so much of my personal travel. I could visit home so often. For most of the festivals in 7 years, I could attend it. I would say overall in Etihad, it's amazing. The work-life balance is amazing. On the other hand, I would say Emirates is a little bit hectic because of the number of destinations and the network they have. Of course, you do get time off, you get your legal rest, you have your leave days. But if I have to compare the two, I would say Etihad is great when it comes to time off and days off and leaves and allocation of leaves. It's probably because of there are a few number of people and it's easier to handle that efficiently. On the other hand, Emirates, due to the number of people and the number of destinations and the network they have, comparatively have lesser time off than Etihad. Again, that I would say it's subject to which position you are in each airline. So that brings us to the big question: which airline pays you more? I know people usually want to know the numbers, but here you really need to understand how a flight attendant salary works. First of all, we have a basic salary. Then we have flying hour rate, per hour rate. Then we have the per hour layover allowance. Then we have the housing allowance. So there are these 4 or 5 different components which makes your salary, and it's pretty standard in all the airlines. The number could be different because of the grade you are in, how much you are flying, and what position you are in. So that could differ, and based on that, your salary can be different. Again, I would say in comparison, both the airlines, if you have to compare economy crew, they get similar salaries. If you have to compare business class, premium class crew, they get similar salaries. And if you have to compare about supervisors, they get pretty much similar salaries. So I would say, regardless of your decision to join any of the airlines, you're pretty much gonna make similar amount of money. So you don't have to worry, probably I'm gonna make more over here, or probably I'm gonna make less over here. I would say all the Gulf and the UAE airlines are pretty standard in the market in terms of salary. I know this video is getting very long, but I wanna just touch upon a last question which somebody asked me, that what are the disadvantages of working as a flight attendant or working for any of these airlines? And I would tell you from my personal experience, I don't think anything which I have done for the last 15 years as a flight attendant has been a disadvantage. I only see privileges and facilities and the good things which this job brings me. I love being a flight attendant. I love to travel. I love to meet different people, and that's just me as a person. So if you are different as a person and you don't like being around in crowded places or meeting different people every day or traveling a lot or going to different destinations in different environment, in different temperatures, in different cities, different countries, that's just you as a person. So you need to have the inner dialogue. You need to ask yourself the right questions. What do you like? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What kind of a person you are? And when you get those answers, then you should make the decision whether you want to be a flight attendant or not. Because believe me, this job is so much fun and you're going to learn so much while working and earning out so many things which you can never ever learn in any university, in any book, or through anybody. And you'll have great experiences and stories to share it with your grandchildren. So guys, I hope I was able to answer some of your questions that you've had. I'm sure I haven't covered everything, but if you have any more questions, please follow me on Instagram and write me the questions there. I'm thinking of trying to go live at some point in time, but let's see. But do write me in the comment, leave me a feedback, and until next time, see you.